Hi, I'm Reagan Roderman, and this is my tribute speech to my grandmother, who I like to call Mimi. To the woman whom I love and admire, for her strength and grace did not get that way because everything worked out. She got that way because everything went wrong, but she handled it. She handled it in such a way, in 1,000 different ways, on 1,000 different days, but she handled it. This woman is my superhero. When I came upon this quote, I immediately thought of my Mimi, because she is the epitome of grace and strength. If you were to sit and talk with my Mimi, you would not know what she's been through because she does not talk about it, but you would be able to see the tire in her eyes and you would hear the tiredness in her voice. My Mimi is a strong and graceful woman that has been through a lot. She cares for others more than herself, and she always has faith in God's greater plan. I found this quote by R.H. Sin. It says, "She's strong, but she is exhausted," and that could not describe my Mimi any better. I'm not saying that women are any greater than men, but a woman like my Mimi is stronger than any man that I have ever known in my life. When I say that she's been through a lot, I mean it. Her parents abandoned her and her siblings at a very young age. My Mimi and her two brothers were all under the age of 13 when they were left at a park bench by their mother, which would be my great-grandmother. Aside from being abandoned, my Mimi was physically abused. During the early years of her marriage, her husband put his hands on her. Alcohol did play a huge part in this behavior. And sadly, every 20 minutes, someone is being abused around the world. Well, she has also lost a child when he was 18 years old. Him and a few of his buddies, they were driving around one day and they ended up running off the road and going off of a bridge, and 3 of the 4 passed away because they drowned. She never speaks of the struggles that she has gone through, and she never complains about being tired when helping others. My Mimi gives more than she takes, and she would give you her last dime if you needed it. There have been numerous times when she has given money or food to a friend or family member, or even a complete stranger, when she barely has anything to spare for herself. Aside from the struggles that she's had in her past life, currently she is at home right now caring for my paralyzed uncle, my Popo, and in my opinion, she is never thanked enough for it. She's a 70-year-old woman, and honestly, she's stronger than I ever could be, and I'm 20 years old. And I definitely believe that God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. She has a faith in God's greater plan like no one I have ever known before. Without God, she would not be as strong as she is, so she says. She has faith that God has everything under control, and even when her days are rocky and just out of whack, she just prays and she says everything will be okay, because it will. When I was younger, I used to think that she was just a really strict Catholic, and that's why she went to church all the time. But honestly, if you think about it, going to church was my Mimi's way of peacefully escaping an hour or two. I mean, think about it. She's at home with my paralyzed uncle and my Popo, and that's just her way of getting out of the house and also praising God. And if it were not for her, I would definitely not be the person that I am today. I believe that if it were not for her, I would not carry myself with such a grace that I believe that I do, not at all times, but I do. My Mimi is a strong and graceful woman that has been through a lot. She cares for others more than herself, and she has a faith in God's greater plan like no other. I would just like to say thank you, Mimi, for being such an inspiration in my life and for others around you, and also for just showing me how to be a good Christian woman just like you. This quote that I found says, "She has a fire in her soul and a grace in her heart." And thank you.